Everybody have fun tonight. Everybody chun fun tonight. Chun fun, or sometimes commonly known as that Chinese dim sum steamed rice roll flour thing. I'm not Chinese, but that's what I call them. But if you haven't had them, you know that they're these delicious little white slippery, slurpery, chewy goodness with whatever fillings of your tamest dream. Since I'm a simple man, we can make the classic shrimp roll version of this. Now you might be thinking, this is a hard thing to make at home, isn't it? Well, that's what I thought for a long time, because I don't have that much perseverance. But what about the batter? Don't you need some fancy special mix? Because you might think you'll need these special bags. Steamed rice roll mix. But close look at the ingredient list. We got rice starch, 70%, and tapioca starch, 30%. That's it? What do I need all this for? So all we need is some rice flour and some tapioca starch. So for our batter, we're gonna need 175 grams of rice flour. This should yield us 8 rolls, I think. Depends on what you're using, by the way. Then we're gonna need 75 grams of tapioca starch. Then we'll get in a 1/4 teaspoon of fine salt. Then we'll mix this all together. Now this is a basic guideline for our batter. The more tapioca starch you use, the stretchier it gets. The less tapioca starch and more rice flour, the more of the what's the word? Bite you'll get out of it. Less stretchy, more of a chew. Is that the right term? I don't know. You could totally play with your ratios. You could even try different starches if you like. You could try wheat starch. You use a combination. But right now we're gonna use 70% rice flour, 30% tapioca starch. This ain't rocket surgery. Now the next step is realizing this is too small to hold everything. We're gonna get a little bit of a bigger bowl. That was a mistake. Then we're gonna add about 625 grams of water. Now this gives us a ratio of 2.5 parts water to 1 part flour and starch mix. Mix this up really well. Now if you want more of a chewier, thicker roll, feel free to take away the amount of water. Or if you want it really thin and really, the wrong word to use, but mushy, that does not sound appetizing, but it is realistically what the result would be to add more water. Basically the consistency we're looking for is of skim milk. If you got a consistency of cream, it's too thick. But it might be okay if you're just trying to make noodles. We want this to be nice and slurpy. So now we're gonna need to let this rest for at least 30 minutes. What this allows is for the flour and the starch to hydrate with all the water, giving us more of a consistent base. Ideally, an hour to 2 hours will be probably enough, but minimum half an hour. It's not the end of the world. All right, next for our filling. Again, you could use kind of whatever you want. If you want to make the dough fritter ones and roll that over. If you want to use tiny prawns. If you want to use ground beef, ground pork, whatever you want. Regardless of whatever you're using as your filling, you want to make sure you cook your filling through before we put them in the rice roll. Because to steam this with the rice roll, whatever we're filling with won't be able to cook in time. So just cook your filling first. But for the shrimp, I got here about 1 pound of shrimp. And we're just going to quickly season this and we're going to steam these. So like usual, for every pound of protein, we're going to use 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon of sesame oil, about 1/8 teaspoon of white pepper, and about 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda. What the baking soda does, it allows the shrimp to kind of puff up a bit and giving us more of a crunchier, juicier shrimp. Mix this all together really well. Again, we're going to want to put this aside, give this some time to marinate, about half an hour. That should be good enough. So while we wait for our rice batter and our shrimp, we can make that special rice roll soy sauce concoction mixture. That's more than just soy sauce, really just soy sauce and sugar. But we're going to start off with 1/4 cup of hot water, 4 teaspoons of sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of ginger powder. Mix this together, making sure all of our sugar is melting. Then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, a teaspoon of oyster sauce, then a teaspoon of sesame oil. We'll mix this all together. And that's it for that. The secret sauce. All right, the last thing we need to talk about is equipment. However you steam whatever pots or woks you use to steam, you just need a vessel of some sorts. I'm using this 8x8 aluminum baking tray that fits quite nicely in my steamer here. But if you use something like a bamboo steamer like this one just doesn't fit. You could totally use just a plate. The only thing that matters is as long as whatever you're using is flat with a tiny bit of a edge to collect everything. So this works. If you just got a plate, something smaller, that works fine. The only thing that matters is how much you pour in. All we're looking for is a very thin layer. But I do have 4 of these. The other 2 are in the fridge. With 2 levels, makes for very efficient work, as I could steam 2 at a time, prep the other 2. As soon as these are done, pull these out, steam the other 2, roll these up, prep them again, pull these out, steam the other 2. You get the idea. Alright, so first things first, we're gonna need to get some water in our steamer. Never steamed anything before, just get your water to like a good amount. It's just steam. Just make sure you don't run out of water. It's kind of the only concern. Alright, so we got our stove on high. We're gonna give this some time to get up to temperature. Alright, so our water's about done. And we're gonna steam our shrimp first. I separate these into 2 trays. Kind of helps just cook them a little bit more evenly. Oh yeah. Get this one. In here, let it ride. So how long are we supposed to steam our shrimp for? A lot of variables depending on how big your steamer is, how far apart they are. So we're gonna steam these until they're cooked. Fortunately, I can't tell you my time. It's gonna be different than your time. But we want our shrimp to be cooked. Once it gets orange, it's basically done. What we're looking for is about 130 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit internal temp. That's when they're done. Alright, these are done. Look at that. Perfect. That took about 3 minutes. So this goes by really fast. So we're going to pull these out so we could reuse these trays. Alright, so how are we going to tackle this? First, we're going to spray a little bit of oil. And make sure we get this coated really well. Going to need to mix our batter. They do break up quite a bit. And then for this, then let's try about 1/3 cup. You want it really thin. Just enough to cover. This is like just a boom. You see, the layer is super thin, exactly what I want. It's really important to have everything level. Your stove's not level, kind of get uneven pieces, but again, not the end of the world. We'll set up our second one. Alright, so this is for our first batch. Let's get this in here. So we're going to steam this on high for anywhere between 2 minutes to 4 minutes. There's a lot of variables in that. What we're looking for are tiny micro bubbles. Hopefully we'll be able to see them through the camera. Very steamy here. But once we get our micro bubbles in, we know they're done and cooked. While we wait for these to steam, we could prepare the other trays, if you got them. See these tiny little bubbles here? That's when that's done. And then we got this one here. So while these are there, get this other batch in. So we're going to want to make sure these cool down before they roll. If you can touch it and it's not hot anymore, that's a good sign. But what you're going to need is a spatula or something you could scrape this with. I have here a silicone bench scraper, which seems to work okay. Gotta be very careful. It's very delicate. If I ruin it the first go, maybe this is harder than it's supposed to be. Alright, so let's see what happens here. So let's get our shrimp slightly off to the right. Yeah. Oh man. Hope this works. So we're gonna be so gentle. Oh please. Please don't break on me. I don't want to look like a fool. Maybe I need help. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no, that broke a little bit. I swear this is easy to make, guys. You get an edge. The first fold is the hardest. Yes! That's the hardest part. Once we got this, just roll it onto itself. Boom! Not bad. Not bad at all. So let's put this on another plate. Oh, be so gentle. Oh no, that was not that gentle. And then, just do a poke here, split this to 3 pieces. I think that's how they do it in the restaurants. Sure. And basically just do that for the rest. Once you kind of find out how long it takes to see those bubbles, pull it out, let it cool down, get a shrimp, roll, fold, pop, pop, pop. Simple. Very simple. This one's done. Just take your time with it. Just take your time with it. And let's take our time with this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This one might be better. Ooh, yeah. Sorta. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. Blow. Wow. Let's go. Get that on here. Now, boom. Just rinse and repeat until you've used up all your batter, until you used up all your shrimp. Hopefully the shrimp is the same amount as the batter. I think it is. I've done the math, sort of. Alright, so now you've made a few of these plates and they're all cold. Now what? I think something that doesn't get mentioned enough, especially in the YouTube videos, but how do you actually make these things to feed yourself, your family, your friends, if you have any? It's not like you're gonna make 2 of these, roll them, eat them right away, or if you make them all, they're all cold, like these ones are. Nobody wants cold chun fun, because that's not fun for anyone. So let me suggest a solution. Make as many as you want, giving you all the ratios. Make them and build them, as many as you plan on serving. And then all we gotta do is just... This is hot, by the way. Steam is hot. Steam these again for about 2 to 3 minutes. Let them get hot, then you can eat them. No panic. Alright, so for the last thing we need to do, got our special soy sauce. Give it another quick little stir. Pour it all around. Alright, see how this is. It's got pretty good structural integrity. Not falling apart. Get real good and soaked. See how this fares. Oh yeah. Alright. It's not even a fake either. That's a real I need another one. Get that sauce in there. Nice and slippery, slurpy. The shrimp is juicy. Got nice pop and plump to it. The sauce is, oh man, the sauce is, I don't know. So that's it. Super simple, super easy, super fun. Chun fun, get it? Fun. So give this a shot. Gave you some really basic ratios. They don't turn out well, play around with it. If you're finding it's too watery, feel free to add some rice flour. If it's too thick, feel free to add some water. This isn't rocket surgery. You can do it. I can do it. You can do it. Maybe you can even do it tonight. Because I don't know what your plans are for tonight, but I hope they're fun plans. Get it? Because everybody have fun tonight. Everybody chun fun tonight. Thank you. Thank you. I'll still be here.